Hey guys, it's GirlGotGame. Welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. We are back in Rod's route, and I checked my achievements, so I did get Rod's best ending the first time around. So now we are here to do his good ending. So basically we're picking the opposite choices of what we did the first time around. Starting off in Chapter 1, we are going to write back while we're irritated at him. If he insists on being so opaque, then I will be honest with him. I am going to give him a piece of my mind. I sit down at my table and begin to compose my letter. Very long letter. Long-winded. Done. Now to have it delivered. Alright, so that's that one. And we have the nice fast-forward option. Which it will stop if there's change in dialogue, if it works the same as the first game. So... last time we restrained ourselves. Let's say no this time. No.
Liar.
He raises an eyebrow.
I can read you like an open book, Lucette, and I can tell that you're mad.
If that's the case, then there is no reason for you to probe further, is there? Rod sighs and scratches his head.
Oh, can we not fight? This is not how I imagined our reunion would go. I know it's my fault you're mad, and I'm sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you need me to.
It is impossible for me to remain angry at him, especially after being separated for so long. Alright. Well, it wasn't quite as nice of a reunion. Okay, so now to celebrate, we're gonna go to the town. Don't you think it will be nice to actually be around people for a change? Rod looks at me for a long moment before sighing.
Fine. We can find a way to be discreet.
Alright, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, next chapter. So we're not in the forest. The next day, as promised, we head to town to show Rod around. Though it is mostly an excuse to spend time together, it is not entirely a lie. New establishments have opened up since Rod's last visit. Still, to avoid any suspicion, I asked Emmeline to accompany us. Several knights come along as escorts. Not really a couple thing, then, is it? It's been a long time since we all walked around town like this, hasn't it?
Yes.
Emmeline has more energy than the two of us combined. She has been enthusiastically pointing at things since we arrived. I'm sad. Does Sebi even show up on Rod's shoulders at all during this route? I think Emmeline just adopted him. Oh look! That stall is selling fresh apples! Emmeline rushes ahead, one of the knights trailing behind her. Rod sighs and crosses his arms.
Oh.
You've been sighing a lot since we arrived. Is something wrong?
I just feel uncomfortable being the center of attention. People see me wandering around with the two of you, and they can't help but stare.
I glance over my shoulder, realizing he is correct. I have become so accustomed to being in the public eye that I have stopped noticing. I apologize. I didn't think we would get so many looks.
You don't need to apologize. I would do this for you again in a heartbeat.
Though I cannot openly show any affection toward Rod in the moment, I flash him my best smile, hoping he sees how grateful I am. Thank you, Rod.
There's no need to thank me. I'm enjoying the fresh air.
When I look at him skeptically, he just shrugs.
Really?
Uh-huh. It is the last thing he says before Emmeline returns. We continue to peer at newly opened stalls and only return to the palace when we realize the time for our dance lessons is fast approaching. Definitely liked our forest state a lot more than that. Ah, the ring. Alright, well, now we're gonna ask about it. What was that about?
What are you talking about?
It's obvious Emmeline is hiding something. Are you in on this too?
Like Em said, it's just your imagination.
The two of us may as well be engaged in a heated staring competition. It gets me nowhere. Fine. I assume whatever this is will come to light one way or another. I do not like it when I am kept in the dark, but I doubt either of them could ever be hiding anything harmful, so I will let it go for now. Rod turns on his heel, heading to the nearby table to look at his music sheets. Oh dear, not nearly as sweet. What happened before this? Something he wants to discuss with us. Oh? What's this all of a sudden?
It's about the last letter you sent.
Yeah. Oh, right. I suppose I sounded very angry in that letter. But how did you even read it? I sent it out 3 days before you arrived.
Emmeline retrieved it from the messenger before it was sent out.
He frowns.
I read it. I see you're still mad at me for making that wish.
How could I not be? You sacrificed so much only to leave.
You know the reason I made that wish, Lucette.
Yes, I do know. But that does not mean I cannot regret it on your behalf. Before, we made the decision to hide together. Now you have made it so that you are the one who must sacrifice everything. It is not anger but sadness that causes sparks to jump at my fingertips. Oh. I close my eyes and take deep breaths to calm myself.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. When I open my eyes again, the sparks are gone. Aw, that's so sad. The prince thing. I said you were right the first time. This time I'll say, that does not matter. You do not need to be a prince to marry a princess. Rod, who had been silent this whole time, suddenly starts speaking.
Not being a prince just means you have to work a little harder.
The boy's eyes seem to shine with hope at the prospect. Then I'll work hard too, so I can live in a palace someday. Rod's responding smile is Wayne? I can't remember how to pronounce that word. He suddenly looks incredibly tired.
We should leave, Lucette. They're waiting for us.
Aw. You didn't let me finish what I was gonna say about you.
Work harder.
Rod mumbles to himself as he stares sullenly down at the floor. Rod? Are you alright? He looks up suddenly as if I've startled him from his thoughts.
Yes, I'm fine.
He smiles weakly before turning his attention back to the view outside the window. I don't know about that. Alright, this time I'm gonna reveal all your secrets to this boy. He is under more stress. The truth is, I haven't really noticed many changes since the official announcement, but Rod is good at hiding his emotions.
You ought to take more breaks. There's no need to baby me. I know my own limitations, thank you very much.
Chevalier and I must still both look concerned because Rod releases a disgruntled sigh and shakes his head.
Oh, seriously, you all are fussing over nothing. How many times do I have to tell you I'm fine?
And Cinna's like, I'm out of here. You're all loud.
I'd appreciate it if you stopped reprimanding me, Lucette. Meeting everyone's expectations requires work.
Not so much work you deprive yourself of sleep.
I'll be fine. Have some faith in me.
Oh, I don't like when they fight. This time I'm gonna leave and he's gonna notice I'm there. I doubt he'll open up to me if I catch him off guard. If anything, he would most likely be irritated I was interrupting him. Stifling a heavy sigh, I take one last look at Rod and Garland before making my way back to the palace. One of you will have noticed that. I haven't confronted Rod about what I saw in the forest yesterday. When we met later that day, he was so tired he immediately retired to his room after dinner. After we had breakfast this morning, I asked him about his fatigue, but he said nothing about the practice. The only thing he said to me was, "I'll explain everything soon, I promise." Why does he not want me to know? I really want to confront him about it, but such confrontations rarely end well for either of us. This is true. Alright, this time I'm going to talk to Emmeline. When I open my door to go find Emmeline, I am shocked to see her already at the threshold prepared to knock. Well, that was serendipitous. How odd that I keep running into her when it is most convenient.
Oh! Hello, Lucette. It's a lovely day today, isn't it? I thought we could take a walk.
Perfect timing. I need to speak with you.
Then we should take a stroll.
Privately. Emmeline blinks at me.
Oh, of course.
She enters my room and plops herself down on my bed.
This is about Rod, isn't it? Did he say anything when you went to the forest yesterday?
No, I didn't confront him. If he's going out of his way to hide these practices, I assumed it would be best not to interrupt him. I know he keeps telling me he'll explain, but he doesn't tell me when. It is really frustrating.
That sounds like Rod.
Emmeline shifts her gaze to the window, gaze forlorn. I wonder what that conversation would have been like if I had picked to confront him and then talk to Emmeline.
I wish I could offer helpful advice, but, well, I've always let Rod be exactly as he is. He was quiet growing up, and I've learned to accept that about him. But if it makes you feel better, he has opened up a lot since he met you.
But not enough to trust me.
Oh, I don't think that's true at all. I think Rod trusts you a great deal, and that's why he struggles with ways to express himself to you in just the right way. Besides, you know Rod just as well as I do. You know he has a bad habit of overworking himself. Eventually, he'll crack under the pressure and he'll tell us all everything.
That's true. I just wish he wouldn't shoulder these burdens alone. I thank Emmeline for her time, but turn down her offer for a stroll. I would be bad company tonight, I am sure. Poor Emmeline. She just wanted some company. Does that mean she came by our room and when we asked Ophelia and we were just not there? Alright, weddings. How about an elegant wedding where you're the center of attention? I am not really fond of decadent celebrations, but if I'm only getting married once, we may as well make it a grand ceremony. Rod smiles a little weakly.
Anything for you.
You wouldn't mind the spotlight?
I would go anywhere and do anything with you.
I press a kiss to his cheek. Thank you. But why are you asking me this in the first place? I offer a mischievous smile. Are we getting married soon? Rod suddenly looks embarrassed.
I'm just asking what you prefer for the future.
For the future. I wonder how distant that is. So making a plush toy was the right decision last time. I'm going to buy him something. I think he would dislike that the most. He'll still love it, just not as much. Do you know of anything only sold in Angielle's market that he would like? Emmeline tilts her head as she thinks. I mean, she did just buy him a gift yesterday or whatever.
This was a few years back, so I don't know if it's still around, but he was really obsessed with this old book that featured dances from around the world. I remember it was worth a fortune. I think there's only something like 5 copies in the world.
It makes sense that Rod would be intrigued by a book about dance. He's extremely dedicated, after all. Gold is not an issue. I may as well go search for this book.
Oh,
Emmeline smiles sheepishly.
sorry. I know it's not much when we think about the gold we have in the palace coffers, and yet...
And yet, Emmeline comes from a humble background. There is no reason for you to apologize. It is always better to be self-aware where gold is concerned. In this case, though, I want to buy Rod something I know he will treasure. Emmeline's eyes brighten.
I'll show you where the stall is after we're done with the taste testing, then.
The two of us resume our testing. Later, Emmeline leads me to the antique items stall she was referring to. I can tell from the languages featured on his banners that the merchant is well-traveled. Even his item descriptions are in multiple languages. A traveling merchant.
Good day, Princess Emmeline, and...
The merchant's eyes widen when he catches sight of me. He bows, a bright smile on his face.
Princess Lucette, I am so honored to meet you in person. How can I help you?
There was an old book I saw here years ago. One about dances from around the world. You don't still happen to have it, do you?
Oh, so you remember that book.
My heart sinks. He's probably sold it. It's been 2 years, after all.
That is a very special item. I took it off my shelves a couple of years ago, thinking I'd save it for a specialist. But...
The merchant leans over to rummage through the large chest behind him.
Is this what you're looking for?
The man pulls out a large book with yellowed pages. Oh, such dance.
This book is a treasure among scholars. I've traveled between kingdoms for years, offering them a chance to borrow it for their studies.
Oh,
Emmeline runs a careful hand over the cover.
to think this book is that valuable.
Is it really right to purchase this when there are renowned scholars seeking it out? The merchant smiles.
Did you come here for this book, Princess Lucette? Because it would be my honor to give it to you for free.
What?
I stare at him, baffled. No, this book is too valuable.
Nothing could ever be so valuable as my daughter's life.
What? I pause. Was your daughter cursed? Your daughter?
Had the Fairytale Curse. It endangered her life. And years ago, you saved her life.
I have dispelled many fairytale curses over the years. I rarely remember individual people, but the fact that I could save this girl's life warms my heart. It is good to know that what I am doing makes such a difference.
I owe you a great debt, Princess.
Not at all. Dispelling the curses is my responsibility. The merchant shakes his head.
Responsibility or not, you saved my daughter. And this is but a small way for me to repay you.
But the other scholars...
Many have already written their research.
I glance at Emmeline, who looks at me helplessly.
Are you sure you won't take payment for this?
Never. For this purchase at least. But the next time you come by, I will gladly accept gold.
There will definitely be a next time.
I agree. Thank you so much for your generosity. The merchant bows.
Truly, it is my honor, Princess.
Dang. What an awesome guy. Alright. Rod's eyes are wide with wonder.
I've been wanting to read this for years. How did you even know this existed?
Emmeline might have mentioned it. The merchant still had the book. It had just been taken off the shelves for a while. Rod looks at me almost guiltily. Oh, he liked that anyway. Alright. You really would like anything I get you.
You didn't have to buy me something so expensive.
Actually, I shake my head. I'll tell you the story later. Suffice to say, I did not pay for that book with gold. It was offered to me, and now I am gifting it to you. Rod raises his eyebrows.
No magic involved?
Not much, anyway. Rod's smile is wide and bright as he gently flips through the pages. He looks like a wonderstruck child.
Thank you, Lucette. I can't even begin to tell you how much this means to me.
It was my pleasure.
I hope you know we're both going to practice some of the dances in here together.
There's nothing I love more. That was really sweet. Hooray, something I actually enjoyed in this good ending. Oh, alright, I won't tell nobody. It does not matter what I think. Emmeline does not want him to know, and that is her decision. She's kept many of my secrets. The least I can do is keep one of hers. Okay. Interesting. Yes, Rod is very lucky to have me. Claude blinks at me. What? Are you the only one who is allowed to be self-confident? Claude grins.
Not at all. I'm just happy you agree with me on something.
Do not become accustomed to it. I doubt we'll agree on anything anytime soon. You say that like his route is not the very next one.
Is that a challenge, Lucette?
Lance nudges his brother. Stop flirting in front of her boyfriend.
Please stop making everything into a challenge.
While the two brothers bicker, Rod squeezes my hand and leans in to whisper in my ear.
I am lucky, you know. The luckiest man in the world.
You are. And I am just as lucky. Oh, well, we salvaged it somehow. Rod looks at the two of them quizzically.
You sound as if you've been keeping some secret correspondence with my sister.
Rod glances between the two of them, then looks at me.
Wait, are you all keeping a secret from me?
It is not as if you don't keep your own secrets. Rod looks equal parts disgruntled and embarrassed. That's why I told you to tell him. Lance thankfully makes things less awkward by speaking up.
Rod, may I pull you aside for a chat?
I should come too.
No, it's okay.
Rod slides his hand out of mine.
This sounds like it will be a conversation best had between the two of us.
The men excuse themselves, leaving Emmeline and I alone. Well, you know what? Respect to Lance for being like, alright, let's settle this right here and now.
Maybe if I had just told him, this wouldn't be so awkward.
As I said, Rod keeps his own secrets. You are not obligated to tell him everything.
I know, but now I'm worried about Prince Lance.
There is no use worrying. Rod knows Lance. I am sure he just wants clarity on the situation. Alright. I'm going to say that he is caring. I'm not going to say this, it's so rude. He is an extremely thoughtful person and spares no effort in making me feel comfortable. The women nod, looking thoughtful.
As it should be.
A man who doesn't treasure you isn't worth your time.
Indeed. It sounds as if you two have a bright future ahead of you.
Yes, I am looking forward to it. Yeah, I definitely didn't enjoy that as much as the other one. See what he says about that.
I'm a little offended Emmeline told you about the letters, but not me.
If it makes you feel better, I just found out yesterday. It was by accident.
Still, was she really that worried I was going to scare him away?
Your frown is a little frightening.
Oh. Fine. Maybe my poker face is a little stern. but I can't help being protective.
Did you tell Prince Lance all that? Rod shakes his head.
I told him I trusted him. But I owe her an apology. I don't want her to have to feel like she needs to hide things from me.
Emmeline is terrible at keeping secrets. I can't imagine she would ever want to keep something from you. I kind of like that he's like, you know what, I need to apologize to my sister for being, overprotective.
It's good to hear you think I'm thoughtful.
That is an understatement. Sebi has said before that you're an overthinker. I agree. Rod flushes.
Now even you're teasing me? Thoughtful and overthinking aren't the same thing.
Sorry, but you know it's the truth.
Oh, I admit I have some things to work on.
We all do. But the first step is acknowledgement, correct? Rod smiles at me.
That's right.
Alright, well, you wanna stay with me tonight?
Wait, what?
Well, you did ask. For a few moments, the two of us stand there staring at each other, neither of us breaking eye contact.
When you say stay with me, you mean...
I mean that we sleep together in the same bed. I cross my arms over my chest. My heart is beating so frantically, it is a wonder Rod can't hear it. Just sleep. For now, I want to add, but I'm too embarrassed to say the words. Thankfully, Rod doesn't push me.
If you insist.
He grabs the doorknob and stiffly opens the door. Poor Rod. Alright, what happened now to make you go... Oh, because we didn't... He doesn't know that we know about the sword practices. Uh-oh.
Wait, how do you...
I saw you in the forest with Garland.
Why didn't you say anything?
You were caught up with other things, and I figured you would tell me when you were ready.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lucette. I've been so busy recently I forgot about the practices. I really did mean to bring them up.
There's no need to apologize. But you promised me no more secrets.
Yes.
So you'll tell me how those practices go from now on? Rod nods.
I wanted to surprise you with my progress in the future, but I haven't really improved yet.
Rod. I reach out to grip his hands. How am I to celebrate your successes if I do not know about your endeavors in the first place?
Fair enough. It will still be a while yet before I have progress to speak of, but I told you I will not keep secrets, and I mean it. From now on, you'll hear about every detail.
Every embarrassing detail?
If you insist.
Aw, poor Rod. Okay, what are we triple-dotting about that now? I want to sleep. Okay, very good.
Did you want to get some sleep?
Rod suddenly looks stiff and uncomfortable again. Are you okay?
Well, you mentioned wanting to sleep together, and we've never done that.
If it makes you uncomfortable...
No!
He says it so immediately, I startle.
I just mean... Oh, I'm sorry. I've just never done this before.
Has he been worrying about this the whole time? Of course he would. Rod is an overthinker. That makes two of us. I set down my teacup, walk over to the other side of the table, and take his hand. Let us continue talking until we fall asleep. Rod nods, a soft smile touching his lips as I lead him to my bed. No falling backwards onto the bed this time. Alright. So, did we just start the new chapter? Yep, we did, by the looks of things. 4 months have passed since Rod proposed to me. Since then, he has been diligently attending all of his lessons. There is still much work to be done, but there is no rush. Every time Rod feels frustrated for not living up to expectations, his and others, that is what I tell him. Often he gets so caught up in what he could be that he forgets to celebrate the things he's already achieved. But, slowly but surely, I am getting him to appreciate the here and now. He is stubborn, but I am more stubborn. Oh, look who's here. I am still thinking of Rod when I turn a bend in the corridor and spot Emmeline walking hand in hand with Prince Lance.
Oh!
Her expression brightens when she sees me.
Lucette!
Good afternoon, Princess Lucette.
I look at him bemused. I have told you multiple times you do not need to use my title, Lance. Lance flushes.
Oh, sorry. Some habits die hard.
Lance had been visiting Angielle more frequently lately, for at least a week every month since he started officially courting Emmeline, and yet he still has yet to break out of his formalities. In that way, he is very different from Claude, who is over-familiar with everyone. I glance between the two of them. Are you going somewhere?
I'm taking Lance to meet Viorica today. Would you like to come with?
I'll pass. I told Rod I would meet him after his lessons.
Understood. When he gets out, can you tell him Sebby is with Mother?
Of course. Aw, Ophelia's taking care of Sebby.
Thank you.
She whirls to look at Lance.
Ready to go, Llama?
No, she's calling him Llama. And she'll be the only one he's okay with calling him Llama. Emmeline laughs when Lance flushes a bright red.
Gods, I hate that nickname.
It truly is a bizarre nickname. Ever since Emmeline found out Lance instantaneously flushes upon hearing it from her, she has begun using it to tease him. I mean, it's just an anagram of his full name. Now she nudges him playfully and smiles.
You're the only person who can make it endearing.
Endearing.
Emmeline loops her arm through his.
Anyway, it's off to the toy shop with us. See you later, Lucette.
Until next time, Lucette.
The two continue down the hall, smiling warmly at each other. They are inseparable when Lance comes to visit. Next week, that will be even more the case. Emmeline plans on accompanying Lance next week to Brigantia. It will be her first time visiting. While it will only be for a week, she is eager to spend more time with Lance. I am happy for you, Emmeline. Footsteps echo through the corridor and I look up expecting to see Palace staff, but no, it is Rod. My heart lifts at the sight of his broad smile.
There you are.
Done with lessons for the day.
Ugh. It was only an hour, but it felt like it took the whole day.
I raise an eyebrow. Let me guess. Politics? He nods.
Politics.
If you'd rather, you could ask to sit in on Father's council meetings. That might be more practical experience.
Not yet.
Fierce determination shines in his eyes.
I'm not ready for that. Yet. But I will be.
I believe in you, Rod.
Then I can't let you down.
He sighs as he runs a hand through his hair.
Oh, still, I'm a little disgruntled. One of the original upsides to losing my title was not having to take that god's-awful class. And yet, here I am again.
I grin. Classes have a way of haunting you even when you think they are over.
The break was nice while it lasted.
He exhales softly.
Anyway, I'm all yours now. What do you want to do?
What do you...
You are not allowed to reflect the question back at me.
Getting caught in the act makes me laugh. The two of us are still learning how to balance each other's wants. It is still an uphill battle because Rod is accustomed to giving more than he receives, but we are making progress. Fine then. I have an idea. I clasp his hand and begin to pull him down the corridor.
Are you going to tell me where you're taking me?
You'll see. Yay, the forest! I lead him to our secret place. A lot has changed since we met in this spot years ago. Though I no longer have to worry about hiding our relationship, this place still feels like a safe haven.
I should have known it would be this place.
I thought you might enjoy this after sitting in a stuffy room for hours. Rod angles his head to look up at the patches of sky visible through the canopies. His eyes shine in the sunlight, sparkling like aquamarine. The sight takes my breath away. He looks so at ease here, so relaxed. It is a far cry from the way things used to be. Before, Rod always tried to shoulder so many burdens. I am glad I could help take some of them on now. He turns and catches my eye.
What? Is there something on my face?
I was just remembering how this all began. How in the beginning you hated me. And now here we are.
Fate sure loves to toy with us.
But in the end, we took fate into our hands. Rod smiles.
For you, I would do anything. Confronting fate was nothing.
He reaches for my hand and leads me to a boulder. The two of us sit shoulder to shoulder looking up at the sky. When a breeze rustles my clothing and makes me shudder, Rod presses closer, wrapping an arm around my shoulders. His warmth makes me feel cozy and safe.
Have you seen Em today?
She's introducing Lance to Viorica. Oh, and about Sebi.
I know. He's with Mother. Oh. I promised Sebi I would start bringing him around more often. He'll probably talk my ear off if I don't retrieve him from Mother soon.
It will be a lot livelier with him around on our outings.
Oh. I'd rather not have our conversations interrupted constantly by a plush bunny.
Even one who knows you better than you know yourself.
Especially by one who knows me better than I know myself.
He laughs, a soft sound that makes my heart flutter.
I owe him, though, for everything he's done. So I suppose it wouldn't be too bad to carry him around sometimes.
He goes quiet again, his gaze growing somber.
It's so strange to think Emma's the one going to Brigantia this time, not me.
I shift to look at him. Do you miss it? Rod shrugs.
It was hard to enjoy Brigantia when I was thinking about you every moment of the day. What? What else would I have been thinking about?
Your lessons, maybe? Rod scowls.
Lessons, lessons, lessons. I'd like to be done with them forever.
It seems that is the trade-off for courting me. Endless lessons. Rod shakes his head.
I gave up my life for love, twice. Lessons are nothing.
He plants a kiss on my forehead.
I already told you. For you, I'd do anything. But it will be strange not to have Em here, even if it's only for a week.
He looks forlorn.
If she someday decides to stay in Brigantia,
then it will not matter, because we both know distance is bearable if you love someone. Aw, that's so sweet. Rod quirks an eyebrow.
You were always so mad when I didn't tell you when I was coming back to visit. Do you think I should write grumpy letters like that to Em?
Our situation was different. You did not tell me how long. The words fade when I realize Rod is laughing. I gather electricity on my fingertips, just a spark, and poke him gently in the shoulder. Rod yelps and then laughs even harder.
I miss this.
My magic?
You.
He kisses me again, once on the cheek, then on my forehead.
I missed your passion, your spark, even your chiding. No, especially your chiding.
You need to be chided. This is hardly kingly behavior.
Kingly?
Well, you will be king someday.
And you will be queen someday.
Someday. The word may have felt daunting before, but now it is hopeful. It is a lot easier to think about ruling when I imagine doing it by Rod's side. Together.
I still have a lot to learn before then.
That makes both of us. Rod looks at me for a long moment, then stands abruptly. I watch as he walks over to a nearby bush and leans down to pick a white flower. He kneels before me and gently, so gently it makes my heart tremble, he tucks it behind my ear. Pinky promise. I'm getting I'm getting Watson vibes, sorry, from his root. How unexpected. He grasps my hand and loops his pinky finger through mine.
I told you I was done with secrets. I'm done with wishes, too. From now on, the two of us are going to do everything together.
He breathes in softly.
This is my promise to you, Lucette. I promise I will always work hard to be worthy. To be worthy of the title of your fiancé. And someday, to be worthy of being called your husband and king. I promise I will make you the happiest wife. I promise that everything we've hoped for will happen. No more wishing or dreaming. The two of us will carve a way to the perfect future together.
The words bring tears to my eyes. And I promise to always walk that path with you, Rod. Remember, you are never alone.
I love you, Lucette.
I love you too, Rod. The two of us share a kiss beneath the fragmented sunlight. Finally, after so many years of secrets, we are living our dream together. Yay! The end! We got a bow! Fated Vow. Even that achievement sounds like a achievement from London Detective Mysteria. Oh, that was great. So you don't get the special epilogue thingy if you don't get the best ending. Very interesting. I kind of liked that good ending, though. I liked that Lucette kind of shared in the vow. I felt she didn't really reciprocate with her own vow as much on the best ending, but I liked that she was part of it in that Pinky Promise one. That was really cute. I didn't like how much they argued in the good ending stuff, but we kind of got it all in concentrated doses by fast forwarding. If you were just playing the story as it is, I think it would kind of be broken up with the other sweet moments. But the actual ending was still sweet. I really liked it, even if they weren't as physically close as they may have been in the best ending. But anyway, there you guys have it. That was Rod's good ending, and it was a very good ending. I'm so happy there's no bad endings. I sobbed in his bad ending in the first game, so I'm just glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. That is a relief. Alright, well, with that being said, we are done with our first playthrough of Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. Thank you guys very much for joining me. I'll be popping back over to Doki Doki, and I think our next side story is with Sayori and Yuri, so that should be interesting. Didn't really see those two interact very much in the original game, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Hopefully I will see you guys over there. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will see you later.